Lately, it feels like objects around me have started talking to me. A pair of sneakers in the hallway keeps talking to me, a broken Christmas ornament lying around on the floor, books on my shelf, even scissors, they are all trying to say something to me. And even the window pane sounds like it's crying out for help. This is when I start wondering, am I going mad? Am I losing my mind? This is The Strange World of the Book of Form and Emptiness by Ruth Ozeki. After the tragic death of his father, this 14-year-old kid starts hearing voices. You can call it madness, but what if the world has always been speaking and we just never listened? And on top of this, his mother develops a hoarding problem and the voices grow even more glamorous. So Benny seeks refuge at a public library, a large public library. There, he meets a street artist, a homeless philosopher poet, and his very own book who narrates Benny's life and teaches him to listen to things that truly matters. Ozeki, via this book, treats these voices not as insanity or mental illness. Of course, the mental illness part is highlighted, but as mind trying to cope when it has nowhere else to put its grief. Basically, when emotions are too big to name, they find other places to live. Sometimes in routines, sometimes in memories, and sometimes in objects. One of the craziest part of this book is that the book itself becomes a character. And I think you will only understand what I just said only if you read this book. There is this one beautiful quote in the book which reads, "Stories never start at the beginning, Benny. They differ from life in that regard. Life is lived from birth to death, from beginning to an unknowable future. But stories are told in hindsight. Stories are life lived backward." And by the end of this book, the novel leaves you with a thought that maybe the mind doesn't break the way we think it does. Sometimes it simply finds unusual ways to survive. So tell me, if your grief could speak, what would it ask you to finally listen to? Because